What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Captain Cook, episode 18 of Captain Cook. Can you believe we only did 17 of these?
That's they surprised us.
Remember when we thought, oh, we'll be on track. El Camino comes out in like 2 days.
Yeah.
So do you know when the last time we recorded this was?
Not a fucking clue.
Almost a year ago. October 11th, 2019. Was the last time we did Captain Cook. On the road to El Camino. Can you believe it's been that long? That was the day El Camino came out, I think, or the day after. Or
I figured we would do this eventually. Were you surprised that I was okay for doing this?
No, not at all. You want to blow Saul.
Wow.
That's it. Wow.
Yeah. No, I was kind of surprised that I wanted to do it. So the fact that you're on surprises me.
I knew that you'd say yeah, 100%.
But you're like, oh, should we watch all Saul? We can start back up Captain Cook. And I was like, yeah, it would give us something to do. And then as soon as I started watching, I was so glad we did it.
That's funny. Yeah, I didn't even think you'd. I thought you'd be like, yeah, let's do a Saul podcast. I was scrolling through Netflix one night and it said, hey, do you want to rewatch Better Call Saul?
And you're like, yeah,
and
I do.
Was like, darn tootin', I kind of do.
I want to watch it and then I want to talk about it.
Yeah, and I want to come on here and go,
You're a pussy. Tight, yeah.
All right, so let's just get into the episode. It opens up with Gene. Those are my favorite stuff, the Gene scenes.
Yeah, I thought of you when it opened up. I started and I was like, I don't remember how. And then it's like immediately black and white, and I was like, oh yeah, Jerome's gonna love this.
You didn't remember start with Gene? What kind of Saul fan are you?
I just didn't think about it, I guess.
You literally just said you were thinking about it, though. Now you're a liar.
No.
You said I was sitting there and I was thinking, I don't know how this started. And then your next sentence was, I wasn't thinking about it. So which one is it, pal?
It's
were you
both.
thinking about it or were you not thinking about it?
It's both.
That's a Hess answer, by the way.
I don't care. The whole episode, it's been a long time since I watched this first one.
No, yeah, me too. And I forgot how great it is. So it's written by Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould. Ghoul?
Yeah.
So he's like, ooh, I'm a ghoul. He's spooky.
No.
Oh. But directed by Vince Gilligan, which I figured for first episode. But then also Peter Gould did the second episode.
Yeah, and then eventually just takes over the show, I guess, huh?
Yeah. Which it's weird, but like, once the show gets more to Breaking Bad, he takes over, which is kind of interesting.
It is interesting, but they got a lot of people involved.
Yeah. But one thing I found very interesting, that we all know the Gene scene by now. If you don't, it's him working at the bakery that he said in Breaking Bad, like,
I'm a civilian. I'm not your lawyer anymore. I'm nobody's lawyer. If the fun's over, from here on out, I'm Mr. Low Profile. Just another douchebag with a job and 3 pairs of Dockers. If I'm lucky, a month from now, best case scenario, I'm managing a Cinnabon in Omaha.
But the one thing I thought was kind of cool is, you know how like the Gene stuff's black and white and everything else in the Breaking Bad world is colorful?
Mm-hmm.
When he's watching his Saul tapes, you can see the reflection in his glasses and they're colorful.
I didn't notice it when I watched it,
Mm-hmm.
but then I listened to the podcast.
Oh, and they mentioned it? They copied me? They copied my notes? Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould copied my notes?
I think the podcast is a little older than this podcast.
Those goddamn...
Snitch.
That's funny. Yeah, I like they said it was 2 reasons. One, because it's the future after Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, he said that the color's been drained out of Saul. And I thought, oh, that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's interesting. That's like...
Yeah.
I thought they just did it because it's a different style. I didn't know it had meaning. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, well, I figured it was because of the future, but...
Well, that's what I meant. Like, it's like, it's a different style, and like to let you know it's the future and all that.
Right.
But that's cool. I like that. I love the Gene scenes. I'm always disappointed when they end. And they get a little longer every time, so I'm like, oh, yeah, come on. And I was so hoping that, like, because the last season was the second to last season,
Yeah.
that we just get a whole episode of Gene.
Didn't they not have a Gene thing at the end?
Yeah, they said they'd be more Gene. And because like they said that on their podcast, they listened to the Insider podcast, and I was like, the way they said it was kind of hinting at this season there'd be more Gene, but they meant it as like, obviously we're gonna film more Gene stuff like down the road. Which, yeah, if you're gonna end it like he calls fucking vacuum guy and goes, never mind, and that's all. That's it. What would be the point of that? Right. So I was like, obviously it can't be that answer. It's got to be that. Nope, they meant that answer.
That's funny.
Fucking ridiculous. But so the episode opens up with Saul defending. He's late defending 2 kids because he's practicing his lines in a very, very disgusting bathroom.
Was it disgusting?
There was like, well, I think it's just the way they film it too, because like it's like on the ground. The camera's on the ground when he's practicing lessons, and you can just see like the stained piss in the urinals. Ugh.
I like
Bathrooms
that.
really disgusting.
It's a good start. He's in there practicing.
It's very Breaking Bad-ish too, which I mean this whole show is.
Yeah,
but like just the style, like how slow they take things in this, just is very breaking. Like he walks in doing this, he sits down, like, and then he starts going, and then afterwards, and they put the VHS tape in there and all that.
Yeah, they mentioned in that podcast that no one says a word in the whole thing except for Saul or Jimmy.
Yeah, all my notes I call him Saul. I probably will not call him Jimmy the entire
You just did.
time of this podcast, except for if I'm like, hey, Chuck said, hey, Jimmy, put your pants on. Something like that. But I'll call him Saul because his name's Saul, God damn it. But so he's defending those kids because
They had sex with a head.
that's such a weird...
Every time I rewatch this, I'm like, oh yeah,
You think about it, and then you don't think about it, what they did.
yeah, and then it goes ding.
You mean...
Oh my
Did
god.
that fucking surprise you with that one, or what?
No. So
You're a pussy.
I'm like, oh yeah, he's defending these kids. That's right. Oh yeah. And then I'm like, oh, they didn't. Yeah, they fucked up. No.
Yeah, that's when I was thinking that too. Like I was like, I think these kids fucked the head. Oh, sorry.
They had sex with a head.
And then they're like, yeah, get its hole. Yeah, and I was like, are they fucking it right now? Are they just, and then they were holding it and then doing more stuff. And I'm like, oh no, yeah, they fuck it and cut it off, and probably a lot more than the tape didn't show.
Yeah. Thank God. Thank God this wasn't on HBO.
Oh yeah, we would have saw dicks and holes and holes and dicks. Been a whole mess. Ugh.
This bitch.
So Saul gets $700 and angrily leaves. He gets a call from the Kettlemans and pretends to be his assistant. I like that. And he's like, oh, hello, Saul Goodman's office.
Yeah, it's like I was watching Doctor Who.
But he's pretending to be his receptionist, and he arranges a meeting at a cafe with them because his office is being painted.
Yeah, I think that's the place where like Mike meets Lydia and stuff like that happens.
Oh, it's the exact same place?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't know, like it's not like the same seats necessarily, but
Yeah, it's a different part of it. It would be cool if it's the same little cafe. I never even thought about that.
it is.
That's cool.
I don't know if they like switched it up or, but
Did you go back and look at the Lydia and Mike ones and compare and put them side by side?
No.
So you didn't do any detective work?
No, what am I, Batman?
This bitch.
Yeah. So he leaves. We meet Mike. Saul needs more stickers.
I need more stickers. Don't have enough stickers.
Now, is this the part where he walks by his new car or his old car?
Oh,
he goes
does he?
to his car? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice you catching a lot of things I didn't catch.
His Cadillac was there, like next to his car.
He's gonna get that in the new season, or does he already have that? I don't remember. Did he get that in season 5?
I don't think so.
Okay, so he'll get that in season 6 then probably.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not up on his car collecting.
Maybe.
Well, how? Yeah, he gets it in season 6.
Well, I suppose he probably should if it's the end of the show. Give me something other than a maybe.
What if he bought it the day before he met Walton?
Well, that's highly unlikely.
Why? Why is that highly unlikely?
It's in the parking lot. It looks pretty like a used car there.
Oh, you can't buy used cars?
Oh, he can, but it's all good. I mean, he probably wants a brand new one.
All
right, if there's a scene in season 6, I'm doing it. Season 6 probably won't come out for like another 2 years because of fucking COVID and all this fucking shit. But if there's a scene of him buying that car and he doesn't get it the day before he meets Walter White,
I just said he could have.
I'm laying your nutsack down on this table, pulling out a butcher's knife and doom, cutting it off, and I'll wiggle it. I'll rub the blood on my face and all this stuff because of you.
This bitch.
You won't remember.
I will too.
Well,
if anyone's watching this, tweet at me at not Jerome King. When Saul season 6 comes out, the final season.
Yeah, okay.
If that scene doesn't happen.
So worried.
But yeah, Saul needs more stickers, and we meet Mike for the first time. Well, second time, but first time in Saul.
Yeah, so the company he works for, they got the initials right there. I forget what it is though. But they said it was an homage to the guy that's Hank's partner. I'm totally failing.
Gomez?
Yeah, but his real name.
Like in real life?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's like something.
Well, fucking.
It's Steve Q R or something.
I'll look it up. Fucking half-ass reporter over here.
Sorry, it's just what I remember.
Stephen Michael Quezada. So it was like STM, STQ, SMQ. It's right in front of me and I can't read it.
Yeah, it must be SMQ.
Now, if I pull up the episode, that's going to be there? Or are you making stuff up?
We'll never know.
I'm doing more detective work for your half-ass little butthole. All right, let's see. Netflix, Jerome, Saul, not Miho, episode 1. Oh, let me see. Oh, there's the Cadillac, baby. It's right next to his car. What do you know?
Wow.
Hello, SpongeBob. Could you keep it down? I'm trying to be boring.
Come on, just show me Mike so I can see his name tag. He's sitting there yelling. He's saying, I was back in there. I can't see his name tag from this angle. It's covered up by the window. I can't find it. You're making stuff up. It's not in the episode.
Okay. I saw it, so.
Your line's like a shit.
Because I read it, and I was like, oh. And then I saw it, I was like, oh.
You saw SMQ and went
right there.
And went, oh.
Yeah.
That happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy that. Who goes, huh, from seeing the letters SMQ?
Because I read it ahead of time, you jackass.
Whatever. So Saul meets the Kettlemans after he gets his stickers, and 1.6 million is missing, and they debate on whether hiring Saul or not.
Do you like the Kettlemans?
I didn't before, but I kind of do now because the Betsy Kettleman was in Preacher.
Oh, that's right.
She worked for the, I think, like Dickhead. I don't know if that's the guy's name, but you know, his head keeps looking like a penis.
Oh, right.
She worked for him and all this stuff, and like she was real fun on the show. So I didn't really care about her beforehand, but now I actually really enjoy her.
I think they're good. I think they're like the husband's an idiot, and she runs.
He wanted to sign, and then she's like, "Well, why don't we think about it? Why don't we wait?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, good idea."
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a neat little wrinkle.
Do you think they took the money?
Jesus. Yeah, I do actually.
We'll see if you're right or not down the line.
All right.
If you're wrong, no. Saul is driving and trying to order the Kettleman some flowers, and the skateboard twins try to pull their little scam on him. I also wrote down here that they are totally Thomas Middleditch's brothers.
Could be. Yeah.
There's no way in hell those kids are not related to him. Literally looks. If he was standing there, you'd be like, "Whoa, which one's he?"
I like them too.
I found them very annoying beforehand. Now to me, they're like they're okay, but I don't like them that much.
I like that they're not good at what they do. I just find it entertaining.
They're really bad at
like later on when he's like, well, how much have you made on your best day? They're like $635.
Yeah,
and they had to do it twice. Like,
yeah,
fuck, that's not worth it.
They also can't read the room right when he's going to cut them free, and they snitch him out to Tuco.
Yeah.
But so Saul gets a check from H.H.M. for $26,000 and tears it apart. This is back when he's in his office.
Oh yeah.
Did you think that was a good idea?
No.
Do you like that he tears up all the money and all that?
No, he should have kept it.
Yeah.
He should have kept it, bought him more bacon, and just let him... His life would have been so much easier.
Yes, especially knowing what happens down the line, he should have just done that shit. Yeah. And I know he's trying to do good for his brother.
Yeah.
But maybe he shouldn't. So we meet Kim and Howard as Saul shows them the turnip check, and they discuss what's best for Chuck. I noticed a lot this episode that they called Howard Hamlin.
Yeah, you mentioned that. I didn't know.
I don't know if they mentioned him in episode 2. They might. But every mentioning of him, his name isn't Howard, and they said Hamlin every time. And it made me question if his name was Howard or not, even though I've seen every episode of the show already. So I Googled it, and I was like, yeah, it is Howard. It was just weird that they kept calling him Hamlin.
Yeah, that's weird that they must have just decided to change it. Like, I mean, it's not like they changed his name, but like
start calling him his first name
instead of his last name.
Yeah, it was odd to me, especially for like how long they've all known each other.
Well, and Chuck must not have said his name.
I don't know if he does or not. Saul at one point says like, "Was Hamlin here?" And he was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
He grounded himself, and he goes, "Yes, he knows the procedure."
That's so weird. But you know what I mean? Like, Chuck's his partner, so I can't imagine Chuck calling him by his last name.
Yeah,
it'd be like us calling S.
No one once called him Howard. Howard, the whole episode.
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't catch it.
Yeah. It's weird, too, that when you call someone their last name forever, and, like, someone's around them, and you have to be like if you're talking about Hess, and, like, you're with his family. Say you're with his family. Everyone there's name is Hess. So you have to be like, Joshua.
Joshua.
Yeah, because it's one time I was with Mauser, And the family, and I was like, Mauser. And they all turned their heads, and I was like, oh, that's stupid. So then I'd be like, say his first. I don't want to say
Has
his
anyone
first.
ever called you by your last name?
King. Only like teachers, I think, or someone's like, hey, King, what are you doing?
And you're like, just rolling, pal.
That's good.
Wow.
I've never thought of that. That's good.
God, you're fucking...
I like that. So where are we? Oh, yeah, so Saul's leaving after he's like, he owns like 3.5 of those chairs and some of those croissants, like all that shit, you know? Like,
He can have
any of them as he wants. It's not about that. And these stupid light things, after he does all that, he leaves. I like to, so on his way in, he kind of glances down and you see that trash can all dented up. And you're like, oh, that's a random little, like, tidbit in there. And then he comes back down, he starts kicking the trash can and all that shit. So you realize every single time he comes in here, he leaves and kicks the shit out of the trash can, goes outside, smokes with Kim. She comes back in and fixes it and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so cool how the subtle things, they just don't tell you. They expect you to figure it out. And the whole show's like that.
Yeah.
So when he gets there and he says, is Lord Vader here? And I kind of forgot that they make it out that he's the bad guy, but he's not really the bad guy.
Yeah, that's why even like now in the show, I'm like, oh, Howard's the bad guy. But he's not even, he's just like now he's like a sad little man.
Yeah, you feel bad
for him now. But yeah, they do make him out to be like as terrible, but really it's the brother.
Because Jimmy doesn't know Chuck's. He knows he's an asshole, but he doesn't know he's the asshole.
Have I mentioned that I don't like Chuck?
A couple times. Yeah.
Yeah, he's my least. If he wasn't in the show, this would be like a chef's kiss of a show.
Chef's kiss.
I almost called him Mackle. Michael McKean is a great actor, and he does the character well and all that. And he does the character a little too well because he's so obnoxious.
He does
that I'm actually very happy when he burns alive.
That's creepy.
It brought me joy because I was like, oh, he won't be in here. And then the next season, he was in a flashback, and I was like, okay, at least it was a nice flashback. And he was like singing karaoke with Saul or something.
Yeah.
Or Jimmy.
Jesus, will you let it go?
So he's leaving, and he also, before he gets to why he's kicking the trash can, is because he hears Howard talking to the Kettlemans.
Yeah, that was It's not like I forgot because I know what happens in the season, but I was like, you could hear her talking, and then I also liked the camera work when he like looks down. And
they don't even actually show you Howard or the Kettlemans together. You just hear their voices, and you see Saul, and you get like, oh.
I liked it. And then he's just like, could you imagine?
Which on their part too, wouldn't you think might be smarter if you were gonna go with a lawyer, go with Saul, than to go with H.H.M. if you're doing illegal shit? And I know Saul's not. He I forgot to play this, but
I don't go looking for guilty people to represent. I mean, who needs that aggravation, right?
He's not there yet. But he's not a big lawyer. They're a huge lawyer firm.
But I think
law firm, as some call it.
Some might call it that. No, I mean I don't know. Maybe he's not good. That's why he's the small lawyer. They don't. Yeah,
know. And I know Saul probably is better than them. But the Kettlemans don't know. They see this little lawyer guy who just hands you matches, or go to H.H.M. H.H.M. seems like the bad idea.
I think either one's going to try to defend you, and they don't care if you're guilty.
Oh, I guess that's true. In my head, you know how stupid I am. I thought, oh, they know you're guilty. Poof, they're just going to give you away.
Yeah, they're not the police.
I forgot they go like, hey, did you do it? Okay, cool. I'll get you off.
Yeah, I mean, the lawyers are there to help you.
Lawyers be lawyers.
That's why they are so expensive.
Yeah. You know what I almost wrote down or wanted to write down every single time I wrote down H.H.M. Dick, Dog, and Smokey.
Not H.H.M., but like,
yeah,
Dick, Dog, and Smokey or something like that.
I thought about adding that to the soundboard. Yeah, so he does that. He goes down, kicks the trash can, smokes with Kim, and we meet Chuck. Saul has to put all his electronics in the mailbox before entering his house. Saul tells Chuck that he needs cash, but Chuck thinks he needs to cash out. And Chuck says he's going to beat his illness, and he's worried about the jobs of all these other people. And what about the mailroom guy, your buddy, and all this guy, and this guy, and this girl, and all this. He names like all different kinds of positions that could lose their job if he cashes out because the company will go under and all this stuff. And Saul's like, yeah, you got a point.
Which is exactly what happens in season 4.
I think it is 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly what happens.
And it's why now Howard is a sad little man.
So after Jimmy made him embarrassed, then he's like, "Fuck it."
I mean, it's not that. I mean, it does happen, but it's not that bad because like Howard still has a job and he wants to hire Saul and shit later on. So like, there's still some stuff there.
Yeah, the company didn't go under, but they did. He did hurt the company.
Yeah. So Chuck shows Saul the check from Howard. They argue for a bit, and then he tells Saul that Howard thinks that his matchbooks are too close to H.H.M.'s logo, and that you should try to maybe make your own identity. Don't like backpack on mine. Basically, is what he says.
And it's all.
I think he does say Hamlin here. Maybe he says Howard, and I'm wrong. But he says he will get you new matchbooks if you need. He'll pay for it.
And this is all Chuck.
Yeah,
it's so
like the Howard now would be like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's his name. Who cares?
Yeah,
he wouldn't give two fucks. I still think they're making a Borderlands movie, maybe an end credit scene. I don't know what their plan is with this first one. They need to cast the guy who plays Howard as Handsome Jack. I think that would fit so well.
I think you're right.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
I would love to see him do more stuff too, especially because Saul's ending. So I think that'd be a cool thing.
Yeah, I could totally see.
Maybe set him up as like the bad guy in like the second one or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I kind of like his little purple matches he got. That'd be a cool little prop to have.
Oh yeah.
Did you see
you'd probably use them.
That Saul account? They're making masks.
Oh yeah,
I retweet to win one or whatever.
Yeah, I did that.
I did too. Saul finds the skate twins, tells them a story about Slip and Jimmy. It'd been kind of cool if he saw like a flashback.
I like that story.
I like that scene with them too.
Oh yeah.
Even later on, when they're like, Slip and Jimmy, my ass.
I liked it when they're like, how'd you find us? And they do the big
they zoom out. It says skate. All those guys skating around. He's like, I don't know, kids. But so he tells them about the Slip and Jimmy scam, and then they make a plan to scam Betsy Kettleman.
So I read this in the trivia on IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
So he shows them the car. It's a Mercury Sable, I think. Maybe I might have made that part up.
Gray.
But it's a Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
When they hit Tuco's, is it Abuelita?
Abuelita, yeah. I wrote it down here, and I'm like, I'm gonna fuck that up. Nick's gonna make fun of me, but I'm glad you can't read it either.
So, well, I'm not Spanish. When they're on the ground and they hit the car, it's not a Mercury, it's a Ford.
Oh, really?
Because Ford and Mercury, they make the same looking car, like a Lincoln.
Oh, so is that the like did they do that on purpose? Like she had a Ford and the kids mistaked it, or did the show mistake it?
I think the kids mistaked it, but I don't know. They don't say.
Yeah.
I almost was gonna rewatch it just to see, but they said it's a Ford and it's not a Mercury, so that would be.
Maybe I could do side by sides of their cars.
Like, so maybe they just did the wrong car in the front, and that would make it even worse.
Big mistakes.
Although, I mean, to be fair, me and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a Ford and a Mercury if it's the same.
Well, don't put words in my mouth. I can spot a car with my eyes closed.
Yeah, if you get ran over.
This bitch.
So they got the whole plan. It's like do. They're waiting. Cars coming. They run out. Boom, get hit. Old lady drives off. They call Saul. They're chasing on the back of a car like it's fucking Back to the Future and all this shit.
That's your favorite part, right?
Hey, you hit the honey pot, kid. I'm like, wait, why do we need Saul for then?
That's a good point.
And they hang up. Saul still tracks him down, and they end up getting to our boy Tuco's house.
Tight, yeah!
Blue, yellow, pink.
So we said we were going to come up with a Breaking Bad moment in the Breaking Bad.
Oh, is it? We're just picking one. I thought it was just we drove down moments that reminded us of Breaking Bad.
I just thought we should have like one
Breaking Bad moment of each episode.
It's got to be Tuco for this. It could be Gene.
I think that's too obvious, though.
Could be Gene in the beginning.
I think we should come up with something that's not that like a cameo shouldn't count as a Breaking Bad moment.
Well, that's what I meant.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant it as like a scene that's like, oh, only a scene like this could happen in Breaking Bad.
No, I just meant something that like totally reminds you of Breaking Bad.
Okay, well then, if that's the case, then yeah, Tuco takes the cake. Just literally his arm coming out the door in his shirt, you know who it is.
And then he looks too.
Yeah, I love the first episode, but like the first 20 minutes of the second episode could be some of the best moment of Saul. One of them.
Well, okay, so I said I was going to compare him to a Star Wars character for you.
Forgot about that, yeah. Tuco, right?
Yeah. Do you know who he reminds me of? What would be your guess?
Tell me what Star Wars first. Like what? Like, are you talking about like Mandalorian stuff? You're talking about like the prequels, sequels,
anybody in the
originals?
fucking universe that's in Star Wars. I'm not gonna give you any hints, fucker.
No, I was gonna say like Jar Jar C-3PO because he's crazy, but like he's not stupid. I'm trying to think of someone who's like wacky but also scary as fuck.
It's not about the wacky, but it is about the scary as fuck.
Oh, okay, it's just about scary.
It's a little about scary.
Can
you just? Do you want me to say?
Yeah, just tell me.
He reminds me of Darth Maul.
Oh, that actually is a good fit. I can see Darth Maul being like
tight, yeah.
Well,
and, like,
and also, how many episodes is he in Breaking Bad? 3, 4
No,
tops?
I think he's in more than that, isn't he? He's in more Saul than Breaking Bad. I don't know.
But then he goes to jail at the end of this first season, right?
Yeah, which he has to come back next fucking season.
But that's my point. Darth Maul's only in episode 1, but like he's like everyone loves him and is afraid of him, and
yeah, he comes back in cartoons and all that shit. Oh, right here. Okay, so he's in 4 episodes of Breaking Bad. Oh wow, he's only in 3 episodes of Saul and 4 episodes of Breaking Bad. I thought he was in so much more.
That's my point exactly.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. I totally thought he was in more. Doesn't it feel like he's in like almost a whole season of Saul? Like
yeah,
when they're getting into all that like
I totally thought he was.
Nacho and Mike stuff. Wow, that blows my mind. There's only 3 episodes of this. He's only in 1 more episode, and that's next season.
Really?
Oh, it's when Mike does that shit, and then he gets arrested. So that's the only next episode. Wow, that's kind of crazy. I did not know
that's
that.
what I mean. And like when you see him, you're like, oh, fucking Dooku, and you're like, go crazy. and really, he's not even in it that much.
Yeah. Well, we just proved that.
Yeah.
So the next episode, Breaking Bad, season. Better Call Saul, season 1, episode 2, Miho, written by Peter Gould, directed by Michelle McLaren. I wanted to make sure I wrote down the writers and directors, so then as we can keep going, we'll be like, oh, this one's Michelle McLaren again. She did a good job recognizing the names more. But the episode starts out with Tuco cooking. We're seeing kind of his version of the events of last episode. He's cooking. His grandma brings him the skate kids. They take her upstairs, and he knocks them out with her cane.
He beat the fuck out of them.
I like the one kid brings his head back up, and he's just like, knocks him back down, ties him up, puts him in the garage and shit. His grandma keeps coming downstairs, and, oh, mijo, I see the salsa stain. And he's like, no, I got it. And put club soda in it. No, yeah, I got that.
I like how she says everything in Spanish, and then she's like, club soda.
Yeah.
Which there must not be a Spanish word for club soda, but it's just funny.
I guess, yeah. I did like, too, when they're yelling at him, and they're like, yeah, this biznatch hit and run.
Biznatch.
You know, when they said it, this time when I just watched it, I literally went...
Yeah, I was like, that's... Ooh.
What
They would have been fine. If they didn't call her a biznatch,
oh, and also...
he might have just paid him off.
We want money. He's like, you want money?
Yeah.
And then he was just like, yeah, he's going to kill you.
Yeah. Which, it's funny, Tuco is like one of the only characters that it's like, you like, certain words you just can't say around him and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I did like, too, later on when Gonzo and Nodos are there. And that's a Breaking Bad moment for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he does that. He knocks him out.
Oh, I wanted to say his grandma is Al Pacino's mom in Scarface.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Does she sit upstairs and watch her shows and that, too?
It's been a long time since I've seen Scarface.
So Saul tries talking Tuco out of killing the twin.
Well,
oh, so this is... I thought this was later on. I thought I jumped ahead. But no, so he tries talking Tuco out of killing the kids. After he gives him like a whole speech, Tuco gives him a knife. He starts to cut them loose.
And they fucking rat on his ass.
They rat on him. I wrote down, this is a Breaking Bad moment. I wrote it down early because I didn't know how you wanted to do it. Mm-hmm. But he goes, are you punking me? Are you punking my abuelita? Because he goes, are they punking me, Tio? When he has Walt and Jesse.
Oh, I totally
so
forgot
right
about
when he says that, I was like, oh wow, I never caught that before. Like that's 2 and 2.
I didn't catch it either. I did catch it that he's taking care of
business.
No, his uncle. He's taking care of his grandma.
No,
he's making
nice
food. He's making food for both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although his uncle knows he's fucking crazy. I don't think his grandma does though.
No, his grandma seems a little oblivious to what's going on there.
Yeah.
I do like he has like a secret stash or shit. Like in the plant, he's got a gun.
Oh yeah.
Like imagine his grandma one day. I'm gonna water the plants.
You know how you can read like Goose.
Mm-hmm.
I read, that version of that gun didn't come out till 2010, and they said all this stuff. I'm like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, he would have had a different gun there. But
yeah.
Who cares? But yeah, so he says, "Are you pucking my abuelita?" Tuco, Nacho. This is where it gets really good. Tuco, Nacho, Nodos, and Gonzo take them all out to the desert. Saul tells him about how it was supposed to be Betsy Kettleman. I don't know what I meant, but it was supposed to be Betsy Kettleman, not Tuck's abuelita. Oh, not Tuco's abuelita.
Yeah,
I'm saying that so white.
not his hemorrhoids.
I sound so white saying abuelita.
Abuelita.
I can't say it like Tuco. I feel like that's kind of racist. But so then Tuco almost cuts off Saul's finger, and he says he's Special Agent Jeffrey A. Steele. And he's like, "Oh, I told you business is too good." And then he says it's Operation, like, what's it, like Kingslayer or something like that? And he's like, "That makes me the king." And then Nacho's like,
this is when
can I try?
I don't remember if I liked Nacho right away.
At this part, when he goes, "Can I try?" and you're watching this for the first time, do you think you were like, I played Far Cry. This isn't going to go well.
Chris, say hello to the internet peoples. Fuck! You psycho! Oh, I'm sorry, what did you say, Chris? What the fuck did you say?
No, because I didn't know it was him, remember?
Oh, you didn't at this point?
No.
I thought we did.
I think we figured it out later. We were like, oh my god, that's the guy from Far Cry.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't remember the first time if I just automatically liked Nacho. I know I did like him.
There was never a point where we were like, I'm on the fence about this guy.
No, we liked him, but like this is his first scene.
Great first scene.
But watching it now, I'm like, oh, look, he's like, because he can. I like how he's not Tuco.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also because we find out too, he doesn't want to be in the business either.
Yeah, but he's willing to do what it takes.
Yeah,
like he'll kill someone if he has to. Remember when he beats the fuck out of who's the guy with the dog in Breaking Bad? Hank's.
Oh, Crazy 8.
Crazy 8. He beats the fuck out of him, remember?
Yeah, he's like, come on.
Yeah.
So Nacho has a chat with him, and he's like, what was it? Special Agent Steele? He's Jeffrey A. Steele. He kind of gets it out of him. So then Nacho ends up getting Saul set free. And then this is a really good part, too, when Sacco... I can't talk. Saul...
It's too bad you're doing a podcast.
I combine Saul and Tuco and call him Sacco. Saul talks to Tuco. They have a little negotiation about what to do with the kids, and he's like, why don't you, like, an eye for an eye? He's like, oh, you want me to gouge their eyes out? He's like, no. Like, make the punishment fit the crime. And he's like, oh, they're liars. I'll cut their throats and rip their tongues. And he's like, I don't know.
Colombian neckties.
Yeah, I don't know where you're getting this. He Saul's like freaking out, and it ends up they're just going to break one leg each. He negotiates it down from... They each breaking one leg.
And that was rough, too.
Yeah, and because they're just slowly panning in on Saul, and you hear, and he's like, I'm going to make this one clean.
This whole scene is awesome.
It's like a 10-minute scene out in the desert.
And then this is when Nodos interrupts.
It's somewhere in the breaking leg part.
Yeah.
I wrote down, Nodos interrupts right before he breaks the leg. He's like, this one already because Saul says you got to give them black eyes or something.
Yeah.
This one already has a black eye. And he gets up to him and goes, don't help.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, he's been getting on his nerves for a while now. At this point, what is the show? It's like 6 years before or something?
Something like that.
Because they time jumped like 2-3 years at some point.
Nodo just didn't know how to shut his mouth. It cost him. But all throughout that, and then he drives them to the hospital. My favorite part is when he goes, "You're the worst lawyer ever," and he's like, "I'm the best lawyer ever."
I negotiated it from a death penalty to just your leg being broken.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, those kids should have been a little thankful.
Yeah, if they would have just shut the fuck up, they would have been out of there scot-free.
Saul's a good talker.
And if they would have just hit the right car.
I do find it very interesting because, like, looks-wise, Saul and Jesse both look like little punk bitches. Like how they come across in the show and all that. Like anybody could make them do whatever they want, really.
Yeah.
And it seems like Tuco almost respects Saul. The way he talked about in the beginning, and he's going to cut them free. And then in the desert, he was negotiating with him. Tuco wasn't getting anything out of it.
No, that's true.
So it was because like if that was Jesse, he'd go shut up, and he would have just like popped Jesse in the head and killed both people right there.
Yeah, but he would have listened to Walter White. I think with Jimmy, it's just that Jimmy just knows how to talk to people.
Yeah, because I guess Walt too. It took him a minute to kind of get down to Walt. Yeah. But I thought that was interesting how he because he doesn't really take anybody's shit, but he listened to Saul when he wasn't getting anything out of it.
Yeah. The original, but it's also because of Nacho.
That's true, Nacho, because Nacho kind of trusted him and let him go.
Yeah.
So we get our first kind of montage. Saul's at a diner, and a guy keeps breaking those mini breadsticks, and it's triggering Saul a lot. He ends up having to go to the bathroom and all that. He's like on a date with a girl.
Which, I guess him and Kim aren't dating yet, huh?
Yeah, we need to turn your mic a little bit. It's starting to go to the light. Carol Ann. So Saul shows up. It almost seems like at this point they weren't really sure how much of a character Kim was going to be. Because Chuck might, hey, your friend Kim might lose her job or something.
Yeah, kind of.
She's barely there. Saul shows up drunk to Chuck's house. Forgot to ground himself. Which, because it's all in his head, that stuff.
Yeah.
Which makes it almost kind of real, because if he believes it, then what, you know what I mean? Whatever.
It's a real thing.
Like, that actually does happen to people?
That's what they said on the podcast.
Well, I find that hard to believe. But.
And Vince Gilligan said that he thought, he wasn't sure, but he thought, they made it up, and then later found out that it's something that people think they have.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, we watched for the first time ever last night. I watched the Truman Show.
Oh, yeah?
And I looked, afterwards, I got the trivia and all that, and apparently, people do think that they're in a TV show and shit like that, in real life, and they call it, the Truman disease, and then when they watch the movie, they're like, oh my god, I'm not the only one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I was like, people are fucking nuts. But I watched that for the first time. I really, really liked it.
I've seen it, but it's been years.
We were gonna watch it, we had a couple Jim Carrey movies that we were gonna watch, that or the Number 23. Or there was something else, because there's a couple that we haven't seen. But so he does that, and then Chuck gets it out of his pocket. But what I was going with that is it's all in his head, but then again, that might make it real and all stuff. But he senses the phone's there. But we know, at least maybe it is as real as these. We know Chuck doesn't have that.
Right. He thinks he has it. But
so he could sense the phone in the pocket. It would have been so much better if he put it out and it wasn't there, because then we as the audience would know, oh, he doesn't have it. But then he has it there, and you're like, well, fuck, is it real?
See, I just took it as he knows Jimmy's drunk.
Does he do that every time?
Probably. I think he just knows that Jimmy is drunk and forgot about it. I think it's more he knows Jimmy than he knows the phone's there.
Yeah, because he does that. But I want to ask you, this is also kind of a Breaking Bad moment to me. I mean, they do this a lot in the show. But this reminded me of the pizza scene. How many takes do you think it took for him to throw the phone and it lands right in front of the camera?
I know the answer to that.
Oh, really? Good thing I asked then.
1.
Well, they're really good at that, huh?
No, I don't really know the answer.
Oh, you fucking lying bitch. Get out of here.
No, but I know the pizza was 1 take.
Yeah.
I think the phone was 1 take.
Should I Google it?
You can if you want. Because I think they just had him chuck it, and it just no pun intended. But I think it was 1 take though. I'm not 100%.
It's looking it up. It shows up a bunch of episodes from the episode A Wild Ride. So maybe they throw a cell phone in that one too.
Oh.
So I can't really find it, but I don't want to spend too long Googling it. If I find it later, I'm going to put it in here. Where were we?
He passed out on the couch, and he threw the phone.
Yeah, I'm trying to find... how many takes to take to the cell phone? We don't know. When he wakes up, Chuck is in a space blanket, and they discuss the hospital bill for the twins' legs. And Saul's like, okay, I know this looks like Slippin' Jimmy. It's not, even though it was. But I feel like he should have spun it in a way to get away with it from his brother, being like, these were potential clients, and I felt, because he was like, he said how that work is not about the money. It's like earlier he had this whole conversation with him in the previous episode. Saul could have spun it like, yeah, they were clients, and I felt bad. They got broken legs. They couldn't get it paid for or something, and he paid for it.
Right.
And Chuck might not have been like, okay, Slippin' Jimmy.
No, I know. I didn't remember this part, but I was like, oh, yeah, it totally looks like he's doing it again. But he's really not. He was, but it wasn't him doing it.
Yeah.
Like, he was up to no good.
Started making trouble in his neighborhood. He had one little Slippin' Jimmy. His mom got scared, and now he's moving to Albuquerque to help people cook meth.
Jesus Christ. Help people cook meth.
This snatch.
Are you done,
That was good.
Giggleson?
That gets a 2 ding.
Nope.
It's not working.
Your ding's off.
There's no button there. So yeah, they discussed that, and Chuck's a little disappointed in him, but he's not really sure what's going on, and
That's weird for Chuck.
yeah, and he's like, take the space blanket off. Why? Take it off. Okay, and then as soon as he goes and gets himself, and he's like, and wraps himself back up with it.
That's so weird.
We should get space blankets for this podcast.
We could.
Instead of aprons. We were wearing, I don't know if you could tell.
We now when you say
you have one that says Pleeka on it like I do. We got a special Pleeka apron.
It's for all those cooking shows we do.
But no, we wore it because in Breaking Bad they wear aprons to cook, and then we also wore them when we did Chef It Around. But Macy, your daughter, my sister, made a special Pleeka ones. I got kittens on mine. I believe yours is Rams and says Pleeka.
I believe so.
Where's yours?
I don't know. It's probably in my room somewhere.
I looked in your closet. Every fucking shirt. I went.
Okay, I know how many shirts I have. Stop. I'm gonna quit.
Not there.
What are you doing?
I can't stop it. It wouldn't stop. I hit Q instead of 7. Woo!
Stop hitting buttons.
We're almost done. Montage of Saul defending people, and every single time, multiple people. It defends like 20 people every single time.
I need more stickers. Don't have enough stickers.
Yeah, that's when you see this.
Oh, is that when? So it's episode 2. You brought it up prematurely.
So did you.
Fucking dick. Saul's sleeping in the world's smallest office behind a little nail salon. Do you think he's going to buy his office in the last season 2?
I hope so.
Hope so, too. I also wondered how the hell did he even get that couch in there?
Someone said when he goes in there and there's the chair in the way.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, how did that's not possible because someone would have to put the chair there in the first place.
What? Oh, it's true, because how would he get out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
And I was like, oh, that's true.
Unless he squeezed himself out before, that'd be stupid, though.
He's like, just in case, I'm going to put this chair.
Yeah. But he's doing there, and he's sipping on a little drink he made, put some little lime juice in that. And Nacho shows up to the office, and they talk about the Kettlemans, and Nacho wants to rip them off, because he likes ripping off people that do crimes.
Yeah.
Because they can't go to the police. And Saul says that, I'm not into that.
I need more stickers.
I don't go looking for guilty people to represent. I mean, who needs that aggravation, right?
And then he's like, I'm not in the game. So Nacho writes down his number on his little pack that he stole from him in the desert. Throws it in there and goes, when you figure out you're in the game.
No. They have a lot of interaction in this season.
Mm-hmm. Not much after, though, until Lalo.
Yeah, isn't that...
Which I really, really liked here. I wrote down, Saul says that he owes Nacho, and if you're ever in any legal trouble, I'll be there. And I was like, that's interesting, because in like 4 seasons, he's going to have to help Lalo with some legal trouble, and Nacho's like, hey, you're my lawyer, come on.
He's like, I'll be there
for you. When you get in trouble by the DA, I'll be there for you. Wasn't that such a kind of like a cock move? I feel like they put Hank and Gomez last season, said it was a big deal. They're in 2 episodes, and then that was basically it.
Yeah, kind of, but they probably had other shit going on too.
Yeah, I guess Hank's busy.
You were pretty excited to see old Hank.
I was. It's just 2 episodes. I was a little disappointed.
It's never enough for you.
It's never.
I want to see my Gene.
I need more stickers, and I don't have enough stickers. But that's it. That's it for this episode of Captain Cook.
That's it?
I mean, that's all I wrote down. We only watched 2 episodes.
How did it end?
Let me know when you're in the game. And then Saul walks out and watches Nacho leave like a little creep. Through his little wibblies.
I thought there was another scene after that where Nacho...
If there is, I didn't write it down. It must not have been too important.
Must not have been.
Here, before we go, we'll do a little throwback Thursday. Even though this is probably coming out on like a Friday or something. It's Thursday right now, though, so I guess that fits. So 1, 2...
Buckle my shoe.
5 or H? 1, 2, 5 or H?
5.
Jesus! Just grow some fucking balls!
If you could only fucking take that into Warzone.
What'd you charge for a Wendy?
I wish we were just watching Breaking Bad, honestly.
Jesus fucking Christ.
No, we'll wrap this up. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please like, subscribe. Hopefully you enjoyed this and you're watching Saul again with us and you're having a fun old time. Don't be a...
This minute.
And we'll see you guys next time.